The Drug Enforcement Agency has apparently spent $86 million on a surveillance plane that has yet to fly.
That's not all. The Office of the Inspector General says the plane was over budget 4 times and was supposed to be ready 3 years ago. Justice reporter Paula Reid joins us from Washington with what went wrong. Great to see you, Paula. For some people who might not be aware of this plane, just tell us a little bit about it and what they were trying to achieve.
Well, this is the kind of wasteful taxpayer dollar spending that really makes people frustrated with Washington. Here, the Department of Defense offered to outfit a DEA plane so that the DEA could help the effort in Afghanistan by conducting counter-narcotics operations. They were going to take this plane and outfit it with fancy surveillance equipment and other modifications that would allow it to conduct surveillance in a combat environment. Now, it was agreed that the Department of Defense would modify the plane and pay for all the changes. But as you noted, 7 years and almost $90 million later, the plane is still sitting in a hangar and has never flown in Afghanistan.
So what went wrong, Paula?
Pretty much everything. As you noted, this plane missed every single deadline in the entire operation. It's never once delivered the plane it was supposed to. It's also been over budget by 4 times. So again, it's just a really egregious example of taxpayer waste.
Paula, how did this all become public?
A whistleblower came forward with a tip that funds that were supposed to be used for surveillance in Afghanistan were being misappropriated, that the program was being mismanaged. So the Office of Inspector General for the Department of Justice did an audit, which resulted in this 60-page report detailing all the things that went wrong.
So what's next? I mean, will there be individual people held accountable for this?
It's unlikely that any one person will be held accountable for this. There were so many mistakes along the way, mostly attributable to the fact that they didn't put enough down on paper. They weren't specific enough about their objectives and their deliverables. But unfortunately, the DEA's aviation division has pulled out of Afghanistan with no plans to return. So it's unlikely, if this plane ever is delivered, that it will ever actually fly in Afghanistan.
And Paula, as I understand it, this plane is still here in the United States, correct?
Yep, never left the hangar, never flew in Afghanistan. So again, it's just a really egregious example of wasting so much money on an operation that would have been very helpful. DEA has supported DOD in Afghanistan and other places all around the world, but they let all this money go to waste over a plane that never left the hangar.
Is it still being worked on?
Yes, actually, they have their next delivery date is in June. But as I said, since the aviation division for the DEA has pulled out of Afghanistan, it's unclear what exactly they would use it for, even if it is actually delivered in June.
Paula, this is really ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's like one of those things where you have to shake your head. So there's no talk about abandoning this project altogether and just cutting your losses?
That has not been put forward at this time. We spoke with the DEA. They said they're reviewing their procedures. They want to look at how this money, why it was misspent this way. They agree it's never good when you have this kind of waste, especially when resources are so limited. So they're going to review their procedures and hopefully not make the same mistakes in the future.
All right, Paula Reid, thank you. We appreciate it.